1/10 of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 3370, and this is the intersection with the Appalachian Trail. Whew, out of breath. Down there's the parking lot. I didn't do an opening narration because there was so many people down there. But anyway, when you get to this intersection, if you go right or left, that's the Appalachian Trail. The rock scramble's up here, so here we go, straight ahead. .35 miles into my hike. I think I'm up at the top now. The elevation here is 3520, and I'm going to try and do a 360-degree sweep here, but it's pretty precarious up here. So let me I'm going to have to look down here in a minute. See if I can find another spot here to stand. It's about 180 degrees. See if I can get turned around here without falling off. Super view today, super. .5 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3520. That's where I came from. I'm finally down off the rock scramble up at the top. And when you're heading this way, which would be hiking south, you'll see this. This is the first turnoff. Let's see, it says Appalachian Trail, 55 yards that way. So this is the first shortcut down to the AT. I'm going to go ahead and follow this up to this next viewpoint up here, and then over the top of this, and then there's a second intersection with the AT a little further south. I think I'm gonna hike south down to the Bearfence shelter. So I can include that in this video. .6 of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 3580. That's where I came from. The trail's over there. And this is the second of the advertised viewpoints. This one's only, well, in the wintertime it would be about 180 degrees. Right now it's somewhat less because of the trees and the leaves. You could probably see clear through there in the wintertime. Over there in the distance is the Massanutten Range. Massanutten Resort is over there close to that pointy edge of it. McGahkeysville's down there. Okay, well just about 25 yards or so above the that last viewpoint, this looks like the actual summit. There's really nothing to see here. Over there though, it looks like people might maybe have been camping. See that bare spot over there? Nice level spot to camp. It's under the trees. I wouldn't recommend it in the winter time because the elevation here is about 35-90 and you'll be totally exposed to the wind. Anyway, I'm going to keep hiking south, which is this way, and I'm hoping soon to run into the Appalachian Trail down here. Six-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 35-50. That's where I came from, down off of Bearfence Mountain, the summit. And this is the intersection with the AT. So I'm going to turn left and hike south along the Appalachian Trail here for a while. .1 miles into my hike, I'm down to 3,210 feet. That's where I came from, along the Appalachian Trail. And this is the intersection with this road. I think this is the Slaughter Trail. Anyway, up there is that Skyline Drive up there. I'm going to loop back on Skyline Drive. There's the AT, where I came from. And this little gravel turnaround here, we're going to head down this way. If you look down there to the left, you might be able to see the yellow chain across the road. There's an old fire road here. I'm gonna walk down it far enough to make a right-hand turn and head down to the hut. .2 miles into my hike, I'm down to 3,160 feet. Here's the turnoff for the, this is the access road that goes down to the Bearfence Hut. Here's where I came from, down the service road. And if you continue on straight, well, first of all, notice that this is being maintained with gravel and so forth. Once you get to here, though, you can hike this all the way to the park boundary, and I think it goes all the way down the east side of the mountain. I've hiked this before. I've got videos on it. You can check them out on my YouTube channel. But we're going to turn here and head on down to the hut. .3 miles into my hike, I'm down to 3,110 feet. I'm not quite to the hut yet. The hut's right down there, though. And here's the outhouse. This is one of the few that isn't been converted to a composting type. This is the old style. They did put it looks like they did put a vent stack on it though. .2 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3550. I'm back up near the summit. I'm retracing my steps along the Appalachian Trail, except I'm not going to go over the scramble again. I'm just going to go around it on the AT. Anyways, what the AT looks like here, it's in the shade, which is nice. There's a little bit of a breeze. So I was going to loop back to my car on Skyline Drive, which would have been straight and level pretty much, but I decided that was too boring. So here I am, way up on the AT again. Anyway, it's about a half a mile back to my car. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Fletcher, 1999. And this was a hike of the Bearfence Mountain. There's a parking lot and trailhead right here. This is mile marker 56. You park over here on the west side. It's a fairly large lot. But this is a real popular hike, and it has a tendency to fill up. So the earlier the better as far as getting there and finding a parking spot. You go across Skyline Drive, and there's two ways to hike south from here. This right here is the Appalachian Trail. This goes around the rock scramble at a lower elevation. But if you take the actual rock scramble, you'll follow this path right here. And right along in here, it's not shown on this map, but right along in here, about here, is the Viewpoint, 360-degree viewpoint. I got some pictures from up there. And then a little further south, about here maybe, is a second viewpoint, which is about 180-degree viewpoint. And then you just follow this down until it runs in to the Appalachian Trail. And then you can loop back this way. Instead of doing that, though, what I did was I continued south on the Appalachian Trail down to here. Then you turn left on this Slaughter Fire Road and you come down like this to Bearfence Shelter. Now, there were through hikers here when I got there, and they didn't want their pictures taken, so I didn't take any pictures of today's hike at Bearfence, but I'll include some pictures from prior hikes so you can see what the shelter looks like. Hiked back up to here. Now I was going to come back up like this along Skyline Drive, but instead I just retraced back up to here, which is climbing the mountain again, and then I took the AT like this back to my car. This is a fairly short hike, 2.7 miles and a total ascent of 839 feet. The only other thing I'll say about this rock scramble is you need to be prepared to, I would wear the heaviest hiking boots you have, because you're going to have to jam your foot into crevices and you're going to have to use your hands to pull yourself up on some of the rock scrambles. So I stowed away my trekking poles. Trekking poles aren't going to do you any good up through here. This is basically rock scrambling. And that was the hike for today.